Hello, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. I hope you're well. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Jen with Timeline Tarot, and this is your full moon in Scorpio message. It is a collective general reading. So as the messages come through today, take what fits and leave what doesn't, because if it's not your message, it simply means that it is meant for someone else. And please check your other placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus. And if you're not sure what those placements are, in the description box of this video is a link where you can obtain your free birth chart. With all of that said, now let's begin. So for the full moon in Scorpio readings, I created 12 spiritual bags. In each bag is a selenite as well as a glass evil eye pendant to protect you, the message, as well as the person whose energy we're tapping into today. I did say person. It could be professional, platonic, or romantic. The full moon in Scorpio reading, the intention for this is to look at a connection or connections in your life. Could be past, could be present for some of you. But the intention here is to see how was that particular connection or connections intended to change you. What was the significance of that person or those people in your life? How are they meant to transform you or be a catalyst for change? With all of that said, now let's begin. We have the Oracle card here, card number 45, Parrot Spirit, watch your words. Your tea leaf cards, Wall, Misunderstanding, Caterpillar, things will not always be this way, a change is coming, and Bird Flying, news is on the way. Okay. Similar vibe to Scorpio, and I think you had that a couple of weeks ago with a different reading that I did. So it's possible for some of you, you have high Scorpio placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus, maybe even your Mars. Yeah, since Scorpio's former ruler was Mars, modern day is Pluto. So that would be interesting to know if you want to drop some comments below. But there's definitely something here about communication when it comes to a misunderstanding. What else? We have gratitude, resilience, and purpose. So there was a specific purpose with that connection, something you were supposed to learn from it. Gossip, gossip at work, gossip in connections. When you live in the past, how can you enjoy the present? Okay. Move in new directions. All right. Let's look at the letters. These could be your initials, this person's initials. It could spell out a word or be of just a secondary confirmation for you, like, oh yes, this is my reading. But they're just letters, so don't allow them to make or break the reading. And they can either fit for you or not, okay? We have A, like apple, R, V, S, T, like Tony, L, I, D, W, N, like Nancy. A, R, V, S, T, L, I, D, W, N. Your stone, hope. Okay. And your charms. We have a comb, like combing through something, sifting through something. We have a wine glass. We have an owl. That's interesting. We have a carrot, but the top part is actually a heart. Okay. We have a lollipop. We have an elephant memory. Okay. We have a teapot. Could be gossip, or again, just words being spoken. We have a pepper, maybe heated words. Watch your words, heated words, and we have Saturn. So this was a very important connection or connections in your life. There's some type of Saturn connection here, meaning a very valuable lesson for you, a Saturnian lesson. All right, let's see where we go with this. We'll close off the reading with a Moonology card here at the end. Let's get into tarot. For Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements, how is the most transformative connection or connections in their life? How is it meant to transform them or be a catalyst of change for the Capricorn collective? One more shuffle here. Thank you. The Tower. Well, there's change. A little bit of Mars, a little bit of Pluto there. Ace of Pentacles. Five of Cups. Watching your words. When you're disappointed, when you're hurt, when you're wounded. Three of Swords. Yeah, when you're wounded. Seven of Swords. My Lord. King of Swords. All right, definitely speaking or communicating from a place of deep pain, resentment, jealousy, betrayal. Ace of Cups, that's truth. Seven of Cups, and the Death card. Bottom of that, Queen of Pentacles, that's you, whether you are masculine or feminine. All right, let's begin to clarify. We're using the After Tarot deck here. I'm not sure if this person or these people are still in your life. Let's see where we go with this. So I'm using the After Tarot deck. If you're not familiar with this deck, the images in the deck itself are slightly different. It does alter the meaning of the cards, and we'll go through them as necessary in your reading today. For Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements, excuse me, sorry about that. We are clarifying the Tower, Ace of Pentacles, Five of Cups, Three of Swords, Seven of Swords, King of Swords, Ace of Cups, Seven of Cups, and the Death card. One more shuffle here. Thank you. The pollen is so bad here, and I have the windows open, and I probably shouldn't have because of the rain and the wind outside. I feel like it's kicking it all up and coming into the house, but anyway, please bear with me. The Tower is clarified by the Knight of Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles is clarified by the Eight of Pentacles. The Five of Cups is clarified by the King of Swords. Could have been a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Now, again, you could have a lot of people here that they were triggering something here for you or created this for you. But for some of you, it could have been an air sign. Three of Swords, clarified by the Nine of Pentacles. The Seven of Swords, clarified by the Seven of Cups. The King of Swords shows themselves again. Two of Wands. The Ace of Cups, clarified by the Three of Pentacles. The Seven of Cups, clarified by the Emperor. And the Death card is clarified by the Page of Cups. Bottom of the deck, Five of Wands. Tower to Knight of Pentacles. I don't feel like this is something that happened today. I feel like in the past. The Tower. Clarify the Tower. Like within the last year. And now it could be more. Maybe for some of you it was 30 years ago. But something here in the last year was triggered. Clarify that Tower. One more shuffle. Thank you. The Tower is clarified by the Knight of Swords. Four of Cups. Some type of communication, information resulted in disappointment for you. The Empress, bottom of the deck, Five of Pentacles. Something you were birthing, nurturing, creating, taking care of. Some type of, again, communication, information here came through. It was quite disappointing. Maybe emotionally dysregulating. Knight of Pentacles. Clarify that Knight of Pentacles. One more shuffle. Thank you. Ace of Cups. Ten of Wands. Ace of Swords. Bottom of the deck, the Empress shows itself again. So it's an interesting message. There's something here about, for some of you, okay, or I should say for the majority of you, when the information came in, I feel like the knee-jerk reaction was to try to hold this up, to try to hold up the Tower, to not let it fall. So when I'm looking at the Seven of Swords, I'll just give you an example that I'm receiving. Three of Swords, Seven of Swords, it's Ten of Swords. Let's say this is someone you are married to. Okay, Emperor to the Empress, possible. Again, it's just an example. Married to them, you find out about a betrayal. They cheated on you. And because of the dynamic of the connection or what you have invested, right? I mean, you put your whole self into this. The Empress in this deck, the Empress is pregnant, maybe had a child with them. However long this happened, a year ago, 10 years ago, 30 years ago, it's almost like you look at the Ten of Wands, like how difficult it is, but it's like, I want a new beginning with this person. I don't want the Tower to fall. I feel like that was a knee-jerk reaction. I'm going to try to bring love into the situation. I don't want to lose this person. I don't want to lose this person. That's just an example. This could play out even at work. You have a terrible argument, disagreement with your boss because you feel very backstabbed, betrayed. They promised you some type of promotion. They didn't give it to you. They gave it to someone else. It's like your knee-jerk reaction is, I don't want to lose the job. You're angry though. See that Knight of Swords is there. So I do feel that Five of Pentacles, the Four of Pentacles, the Five of Cups, there's a resentment here that's building. There's an anger here. But I'm trying to hold up the Tower. I don't want to lose the marriage. I don't want to lose this person. I don't want to stop speaking to my brother or my sister, like if this is family connection, right? I don't want to lose my job. Knee-jerk reaction is I want to save this. I want to save this in some way. Okay. Ace of Pentacles. Clarify the Ace of Pentacles. I want to work on it. I want to have a new beginning. I don't want to lose this job. Okay. One more shuffle here. Thank you. Ace of Pentacles, clarified by Queen of Pentacles. Again, holding the baby, right? So here, with the Empress, this was something that you were nurturing, okay, or wanting to give life to, if you will, okay? The Queen of Pentacles is now holding the baby, okay? So this was something that you nurtured, like gestation period, right, with the Empress, but it actually was tangible. It was real. So this isn't a dream. This is a real connection that you had. Now it's almost like I want to nurse it back to health. I want to like nurse it back to health. Queen of Pentacles, Nine of Wands. Boy, is it exhausting. Look at that 10 of Wands where the 9 Wands are on the ground. You're holding the Ace of Wands, holding on to hope of a beginning, being able to salvage this, but feeling very wounded, very tired, right? And the Page of Swords. In light of that communication or that opportunity, Eight of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles. There was still a desire for you to want to work on this. Eight of Pentacles. Clarify the Eight of Pentacles. One more shuffle. Thank you. For some of you, this could even have happened in childhood. Okay, you're going to have to take the message how it resonates. A connection here that you nurtured, that you loved, that you looked up to. There was a level of respect here that you had for this person or esteem. Okay, it could have been someone patriarchal, matriarchal, mother, father. Okay, it doesn't always have to be love. We're looking at like the most transformative connection here. So it's something that wounded you incredibly. Three of Swords, Seven of Swords. Okay, the Tower. And for some of you, like I said, happened in childhood. 10 of Swords. I kind of called it out when I said the 7 plus the 3. 10 of Swords. Devastating ending. 10 of Cups. To something that should have been happy. A family connection, a work environment, a marriage, a long-term committed partnership, even within a social circle, right? We have several people here of all different ages around the fire. So even if it's in the context of like a social circle, there was an ending to that. Justice. Bottom of deck, Seven of Pentacles. After all of that labor, all of that, effort on your part, time, love, money, commitment, talent, again, whatever this connection was here, professional, platonic, or romantic, something was not fair, something was not right. But at the same time, your knee-jerk reaction was try to hold it up or salvage it because you felt purpose. There's a purpose here for this person to be in my life, right? They are my sister. They're my brother. You get the point. Mom, dad, lover, husband, wife. Five of Cups. Tell me about the Five of Cups. One more shuffle. Thank you. I don't think you ever addressed the pain. Two of Pentacles. Two of Swords. Eight of Pentacles again. I'm going to try to make this work. Magician. I'm going to try to manifest this to come back together. Okay. I'm almost like not that I'm not going to pretend this didn't happen, but this is like, I can't give up on this. This is my spouse. I have to make this work. This is my job. This is my career. I have to make this work. Two of Pentacles. I have to put in the time management to make this work somehow. I don't know if it can work. I'm blindfolded in the Two of Swords. I have to make it work. I really feel like I'm speaking to those of you where the knee-jerk reaction was try to not justify what happened, justify why the tower had to be rebuilt. King of Swords. Two of Swords. Okay. One more shuffle. Thank you. So in the after tower deck, the Two of Swords is there's no decision to be made because the decision has been made. Two of Swords, Five of Swords, and the Queen of Cups. Bottom of deck, the High Priestess. So in that moment that you wanted to salvage this connection, again, whoever this person is to you, there was that initial reaction triggered for you the suppression of those feelings and emotions, the pain. It's something like, for me to make this work with this boss or this sibling or this parent or this lover, or this friend, it's almost like I have to pretend it didn't happen. Or even if I don't pretend it didn't happen, I have to pretend that it didn't wound me. Because if I acknowledge the wound, I'm not holding up the tower. I'm not going to rebuild the tower. So the knee-jerk reaction was, I'm going to try to fix this. But I think subconsciously what you did was, I have to suppress the emotions. It's the only way I'm going to be able to get through this. Three of Swords. It's the only way I'm going to be able to get through that Three of Swords. Clarify that Three of Swords. And I think that's what you thought. Things won't always be this way. Okay, a change is coming. We can make this work. We're strong, like that wall card. Like the wall is still standing. We're stronger. We've been through worse. I think you were trying to justify staying in it or trying to make it work. One more shuffle. Thank you. Maybe even blaming yourself a little bit. Three of Swords to the Ten of Swords. What have you gone through? Wheel of Fortune. And the Star card. We can heal this. That was the knee-jerk reaction. Knee-jerk reaction was, I can't believe this is happening. Okay? After everything that I've done. I can't just let this dissolve. I'm not going to walk away from this. Even if you did walk away from it. A lot of you walked away from it, but then you went back. You know, because it's like, wait a minute. Let's try to heal this. Let's try to find out what happened. But in doing that, you never acknowledged what it triggered for you internally. So there's a rage inside the Capricorn collective because of something that was unjust or unfair that happened to them in childhood, in adolescence, regardless of the connection or when it happened. Nine of Pentacles. One more shuffle. Thank you. Nine of Pentacles clarified by the King of Wands, the Two of Cups, and the Eight of Wands. And forward we go. Now, this could have played out two different ways for you. One, knee-jerk reaction was to try to salvage this, to try to reason, to justify to yourself why you have to stay in it or go back to it or try to make it work, okay? In doing that, you suppressed your feelings and you move forward, trying to heal the connection. For others of you, this happened. It was unjust. It was unfair. You decided knee-jerk reaction to save it, and then you went, wait a minute, what the F am I doing? I can't do that. I'm going to move on in another direction. And you did. Maybe you left the job. You stopped talking to that family member. You know, you broke up with that ex or you got a divorce. So Capricorn Collective is a little split there. The knee-jerk reaction for both groups was, maybe I could fix this or maybe it's salvageable. I should probably try doing that. And then some of you went forward with trying to do that. And others of you went, no, screw that. No, what am I doing? Like, no, I got to move in another direction. Both groups never fully processed what happened. Three of Swords, Seven of Swords, Ten of Swords. There's a rage inside the Capricorn Collective because of this, whatever that was. Seven of Swords. Clarify the Seven of Swords. We just moved. We left the Six Cups on the shelf, the past experience, speaking like like I'm speaking like you. We grabbed the Ace of Cups, a new beginning, either in that situation, in that connection, or with another one. We just moved on. You know, this is the ex, let's say we divorce them, and 10 years later we meet someone else and we get married, but we never addressed the pain from the first ex. That's what's happening here. We sort of just boxed it up and put it on a shelf and went on with our life. Whether or not that person is still in our life or we tried to keep them in our life, they're inconsequential to the reading. The reading here is you have pent up anger or frustration because of a past experience. Seven of Swords, clarified by Knight of Wands, Two of Wands, and the Ten of Pentacles, bottom of the deck, Five of Swords. So the Capricorn Collective was basically deceiving itself, saying, I can leave that in the past, and I can move forward either with this person or without this person. I can move forward, I can be happy, I can be abundant, I'll find another job, I'll find another partner, or maybe me and this person will be able to build or rebuild what we had. But Five of Swords, there was a deception there on your part, and the deception there was you weren't fully healing what happened. You didn't process what happened. Seven of Cups. Tell me about that Seven of Cups. One more shuffle. Thank you. Seven of Cups clarified by the Tower. So we're leaving the Tower in the past. Remember that Six of Cups in the After Tarot deck is leaving Six Cups on the shelf. So we're leaving the Tower in the past. We're going to move on with our life. King of Pentacles. I'm stronger for what happened. Queen of Wands. Because of that past experience, for me, Queens exist in the present because they process the past and Kings take action. Wheel of Fortune again. I'm just going to move forward. Either with this person, without this person. I've learned. And you're right. You did learn. You did learn from that past experience. But you didn't heal what it did to you. King of Swords. Tell me about the King of Swords. One more shuffle. Thank you. King of Swords clarified by Seven of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles, you still held on to whatever that King of Swords did. King of Wands, again, you took action, whether you're masculine or feminine. I'm going to move forward with this person or not. Chariot here at the bottom of the deck. But you're still holding on. Four of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles to what that person did or said, however long ago it was. Like I said, for some of you, I think it's like within the last year, but It's a collective reading. Could have been 40 years for some of you. I don't know. Two of Wands. Clarify that Two of Wands. You know what's interesting? I never get this in the Two of Wands. In the After Tarot deck, the Two of Wands shows two people here. And they're at a cross point. And they're choosing to move forward together. It's not the... I do read the cards. Obviously, I know the meanings of the cards. But I'm also an intuitive reader. This is like I'm moving forward. But you're taking with you the anger from what that past person did. So I don't know if you're the masculine or feminine here. Or how you identify. Irrelevant to me. I don't read body parts. But... You have attempted to leave the past behind and move forward, but you're still looking right at that wound. Like you're still taking it with you. You're still taking it with you. Clarify the Two of Wands. One more shuffle. Thank you. The Two of Wands, Chariot. We're moving forward. Eight of Cups, but I'm still carrying the whatever I suppressed here. Okay? All of that, the grief and loss. She's looking into the Eight Cups that were quite disappointing to her. Page of Wands. So again, I'm moving forward right in the page. I'm leaving this person behind or the memory or the experience, but the emotions are still there. There's a rage here in the Capricorn collective that something or someone you nurtured or you cared for or you took care of or you had a very deep bond or connection with effed you over terribly. I have no other way how to say it. Ace of Cups. So here's the new. I left 6 cups on the shelf. I'm moving towards the new. 3 of Pentacles. One more shuffle here. Thank you. Ace of Cups, clarified by the Hierophant, the Chariot, and the 6 of Swords. We're going to move forward. Justice. We're going to move forward. I'm either going to make things right with this person or I'll just, make things right without them. But I'm moving towards a new beginning. Again, with or without them. They're a little inconsequential for this portion of the reading. 3 of Pentacles. One more shuffle. Thank you. I either rebuild with them. I rebuild alone. 9 of Cups. Knight of Wands. And the Knight of Cups. Bottom of deck, 5 of Pentacles. And it worked for a while. It worked for a while until it didn't work anymore. Because this pain that this person caused was never addressed. Now, I don't know where you are on the Capricorn timeline. This could be a little foretelling for you in the future. Like maybe you just had this happen in the last year. And whether you're with this person or not, you're moving forward. Like maybe let's, for argument's sake, example's sake, just say it happened in January and now we're in May. Whether you're with this person or not, you're attempting to rebuild. Either rebuild with them, rebuild on your own. But you still never process this. So it's going to impact a connection. Page of Cups to the Death card. So I feel like it's a little forewarning here for you. Yours is the only reading that I've had so far like that where it's like, although Scorpio kind of did too. They have something coming up in the next 6 weeks. But this seems to be, whether it's with this person or not, that wound needs to be looked at. Because it could bring an end to a connection in your life. It could be like that happened with a romantic partner. And that wound is deeply triggered at work. And you end up going off on your boss horribly and quitting the job. You didn't watch your words. And maybe the boss does do something shitty. Crappy, sorry for cursing, but you're taking out on them all that suppressed aggression that maybe like an ex-spouse did. There's something like that here happening. So a simple misunderstanding with a friend, family member, lover, boss could blow up that whole situation on you because really what you're letting out in that moment is the aggression of what that King of Swords person did. Clarify the 7 of Cups. In the 7 of Cups, we have all 7 cups. We have the new and we have the past. Like the past never really left you, emotionally speaking. 7 of Cups, clarified by the 3 of Pentacles. As you're building the new, the Lovers, and the 9 of Pentacles, bottom of deck, 5 of Swords, is still there. Is still there. The anger is still there. Thinking about it is still there. Consciously, subconsciously. The pain is still there. The deception that this person did to you is still there. Clarify the Emperor. Clarify the Emperor. So either you end up taking it out on this person if you keep them in your life, or you take it out on someone who may wrong you in some way, some misunderstanding or something like that, but they get the full brunt of the words that really comes from that person, like the pain that that person caused. It's like taking out on your second wife or second husband, the pain that you never really processed that the first wife or first husband did. You know what I mean? Something like that. Or you take it out on the boss, what, you know, a family member did to you in childhood. Because again, there's something here happening where like they're going to trigger that. And it could be a misunderstanding or something that's not that significant, right? In that Page of Cups to the Death card. Clarify the Emperor here. One more shuffle. Thank you. This could even be, my person cheated on me. I'm going to power through it. We're going to make it through. I'm not losing my family. I have 20 years in this marriage, and 5 years could go by. And you think you're healed, and you're not. And they come home 10 minutes late, and it triggers that wound when they cheated on you. And you just unload on them. Meanwhile, it's a misunderstanding. They stopped to get gas and the card didn't work and they had to go on their phone app and transfer money from the savings account to the checking account. And it just made them 10 minutes late to get gas and come home. But it triggers that wound. So there's a wound here. That Seven of Swords is different for all of you. I don't know what this person here did. 3 of Swords, 7 of Swords, 10 of Swords, 5 of Swords. Whether that person's still in your life or not, that's what needs to be addressed. Otherwise, you're going to unload on them again. You know what I mean? Sort of unfairly. I know. How can you say unfairly when they did that? Because you never addressed that. So now they're doing something like they put the fork in the spoon slot, you know, in the utensil drawer. It doesn't warrant you screaming on top of your head, you know. So that's what's happening here. And if it's not with them, it's with another person. The Emperor is clarified by the 6 of Cups. The Emperor is going to get the brunt. This other person, this other boss, family member, connection partner. Again, I don't read body parts. But this person is going to catch the brunt of what happened back there in the past. 6 of Cups, the Magician, and the 3 of Cups. Bottom of the deck, High Priestess. What is that? It's like, okay, thank you. It's like you're manifesting for this to work out. That's a job. I left that job. I'm now in the new job. I'm manifesting that the new job is great. New job is great until one small thing goes wrong. And everything falls apart because it triggers that past wound. I'm leaving behind this romantic partner. I'm married. I'm manifesting a healthy marriage, a healthy connection. My person does one thing wrong that triggers a wound that the former ex did, the former partner did. That 3 of Cups is soured. Because of a past wound. Something here triggers a past wound. Death card. How can you live when you live in the past? Because you consciously, subconsciously, you know what I mean, hold on to this pain. How can you enjoy the present? Whether you're looking for reconnection or to save this connection or you've moved on to a new connection. How can you fully move in a new direction and find happiness again with or without them? If you're holding on to something from the past, again, that pain. Death card clarified by Ace of Wands, the Moon, and the 4 of Swords. Bottom of the deck, 5 of Swords shows itself again. So you have the potential now to sabotage a connection. Could be a variety of connections. You know, anytime a friend triggers you, or you assume someone, you know, again, misunderstanding, but you assume someone's deceiving or lying to you, like that past person did, you unload on them. The Moon is all of your emotions. So there's something here about healing your emotions that were stirred up by the deception, by the betrayal. So you can be more mindful of your words when you speak. Then you can correct someone when there's a misunderstanding, or you can ask for clarification when there's a misunderstanding, but you're not lobbing off the person's head for it. You're not, you know, rolling out the guillotine, again, because of the suppressed anger. Same thing if this is a connection that you're looking to save or rehabilitate. You personally have to work on that 7 of Swords, like that pain that that person caused you from their actions, because try as you might to rehabilitate this, the littlest thing they do, if that's not healed, it doesn't matter how much effort they put into becoming a better person. You know what I mean? Like maybe they end up doing their part. But that wound of yours, if it's not healed, that's like, what did I say to Scorpio? An eruption of pain, like a volcanic eruption of pain that will come out of you. 5 of Swords. The moment you think they're doing it again, like whatever happened here. Clarify the Page of Cups. Clarify the Page of Cups. And it'll be a very tumultuous relationship. if that's always triggered and then you come back with I'm sorry, or you expect a person to deal with the aggression now because it's like, well, you did it. You did the Seven of Swords. So yeah, 5 years from now, I'm still going to be effing pissed when you come home 10 minutes late or something. That's not really healing the connection. You know what I mean? Clarify that Page of Cups. So that's not healthy either on your part to then apologize for that and expect the person to take it on the chin because they caused the Seven of Swords. The Sun, the Four of Cups, and the Page of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck, the World card. Your lesson here, okay, because the World card talks about a completion, a lesson. And this was a damn hard lesson. Jesus Christ. My poor Capricorn collective. Your lesson here was that whether you want to hold up the tower, rebuild the tower with this person, move forward and build a new tower of your own with someone else, you can't suppress your emotions when someone does Three of Swords, Seven of Swords, Five of Swords, Ten of Swords to you. The lesson for this person was to get you to go inward and look at those wounds, to really heal those wounds, to not suppress them. I think I have a group of you here where you suppress and you think you could push through. I'm just going to push through and save this relationship, or I'm going to move on and find another relationship. But it's that push through power. I mean, you are ruled by Saturn. You're ruled by Saturn. That's why you're the Devil card in tarot, because you can be very determined, right? The Devil card in tarot isn't always a negative. I look at what's on the table and I look what's not on the table. That's a crap ton of cards for 2 decks. Guess what's not on the table? You. Neither deck showed you. I don't think you fully processed what happened here, however long ago it happened. Let's get you some cards. Let's get you some cards. For those of you where the person's no longer in your life, right? You stop talking to them. Excuse me. Yeah, see, it's like that elephant is like the memory. So you're still holding on to that. And you might try to bring some sweetness or heal the connection with this person, the lollipop, the glass of wine, but the moment something is wrong, the moment there's a kink, right? We've got the comb. Think about when you're combing your hair and there's like a tangle in your hair. Anytime there's a kink, it's going to trigger that wound, and that fire red pepper there to watch your words. It'll end up being like a volcano of words here, towards this person or towards other people. Have you ever had like a really crappy day, and then you drive to the store, and you got a real jerk in front of you? Now, the real jerk in front of you is a real jerk in front of you. I'm not saying they're not a real jerk in front of you. But if you find yourself getting all angry and you're beeping the horn and middle fingering and F you and get out of my way, that's not really because the person in front of you is driving 5 miles below the speed limit. You know what I mean? Are they being a jerk? I guess they could pull over, let you go around them, whatever. But that aggression, it's not really from that person going too slow in front of you. It's all of this that was never processed. So the connection with this person and whatever awfulness transpired here between you and them, whether you want to keep them in your life is up to you. I'm not going to tell you what to do. You're a grown Capricorn. But this does need to be healed within you. Otherwise, every little thing, you're going to fly off the handle. Any misunderstanding. So if this person is no longer in your life, can we have 3 cards here? One more shuffle. Thank you. This person is no longer in your life. Ace of Pentacles, 2 of Cups, and you moved on to a new connection. Wheel of Fortune, bottom of the deck, the Sun card. Please heal that, because you have a really nice partnership here. And maybe this person's already in your life. Maybe this is the ex from 20 years ago, and this is the new partner. Or maybe this is the job from 10 years ago, and that's the new boss. But you still need to heal it. Sun card is most healing card in tarot. 7 of Pentacles. You still need to invest time to heal this, because it could disrupt this new connection that you have in your life. So whether the new is in your life or they're about to come into your life, please devote some time to heal that 3 of Swords, Five of Swords, Seven of Swords, Ten of Swords. Otherwise, it really could taint the new partnership, professional, platonic, or romantic, that is coming to you. For those of you where this person is still in your life, 3 cards for my Capricorns, where this person is still in their life. Thank you. We'll take it. Temperance came out in reverse. This person is still in your life. There's an imbalance that you have not addressed, right? Whatever this person created here. 6 of Pentacles, 2 of Swords, bottom of the deck, 6 of Cups. That if this person is still in your life, that memory has not left. Like the wound that they caused, it still has not left you. Look at that, 9 of Swords. There's still terrors, dreams, you know, terrors, I mean like night terrors and bad dreams and insomnia and anxiety. And the 9 of Swords for me is also like your subconscious. So it's still in the wheel well of your subconscious, even though you're trying to be resilient and power through, like, you know, the brave Capricorn that you are. What you're not seeing is that there's still an imbalance here in the connection. You're blocking emotions, or you're not very well emotionally regulated in stressful situations, or at least you won't be in the future unless that is addressed. Can I have 3 cards of advice on how the Capricorn collective can begin to address this? One more shuffle. Thank you. 7 of Cups. 3 of Swords. Don't live in the fantasy that you can just easily move on. You cannot easily move on from this. Death card, bottom of the deck, 3 of Cups. In order for you to be truly happy again, whether it includes this person or not, you still have to transform, transmute the pain of what occurred here. You still have to process it. You can't put on rose-colored glasses and power through and think everything's going to be fine, because that's wishful thinking. You're really going to have to go deep on this. And the whole reason why this person was in your life, if we look at everyone we meet as a teacher, we for them and them for us, this person, the reason why they did the 3 of Swords, 7 of Swords, 5 of Swords, 10 of Swords, not only because they're a crappy human, they had a soul contract to do that to you. I know it sounds shitty, but that was their intent. If we look at everyone we interact with as we have a soul contract to fulfill some type of mission, that there's a purpose for every connection in our life, then their purpose was to get you to not power through the hard experiences, power through the hard feelings, or suppress them, but to learn how to heal them so you can be more emotionally regulated in the future. There's also something here with health, but I don't do health readings, so I can't get into it. But there's something here also, like not healing this affects your health. Again, I can't go into it on YouTube. If this was Rumble or TikTok, I could, but on YouTube, I can't. But if you keep suppressing this, there's like long-term health issues like stress and high blood pressure, and you get where I'm going. So you want to take care of this, okay? That 7 of Swords. Whether you want that person in your life or not, it's important to you, your future, how you communicate with others, how you can be more emotionally regulated moving forward, and it will improve your health. Let's close it out now with the Moonology card here. But yeah, how is the most transformational relationship in your life meant to transform you? It was meant to get you to not suppress feelings, the hard ones, not to overlook them, not to think you can power through, to admit to yourself, I either need help with this or I have to help myself with this. I can't just power through it. Some of you don't want people to know. Gossip at work. Some of you want to power through and pretend everything's okay. You don't want your community or family or people you work with to know that this person did this to you. That's not good for your health either. I'm not saying that you have to take out a Facebook ad or internet ad or newspaper ad and tell everyone. But if you were really healed, you wouldn't have to suppress it. You wouldn't have to actively hide it. Some of you are actively hiding this. That's not good for your health either. Let's get a Moonology card here, please, for Capricorn. One more shuffle. Thank you. Your Moonology card. Your hard work is paying off. New Moon in Capricorn. if you put in the effort to heal that Seven of Swords, whether you want that person or people in your life or not, your hard work will pay off. I keep going back something here with health. Meditate and contemplate new moon in Pisces. There's a need here to, I'm getting Four of Swords. And I said in one of your readings, for some of you it could be therapy, and I saw a few comments below like, nope, we're doing it the old-fashioned way. We're just going to power through this. There are long-term negative consequences for you by doing that. Again, it's not full forgiveness. You're not fully forgiving the person. Anything they do in the future will trigger this. Anything anyone else does, like the schlub who's going 5 or 15 miles per hour slower than you in traffic, is going to catch the brunt of this heat. And even if you leave that person behind, you'll have new connections in the future, and you could take out aggression out on them without realizing where it's coming from. Like any slight misunderstanding you're going to see it as a crack in the foundation. Oh, this person's trying to screw me over like, the ex did or the last boss did. So meditate and contemplate. Walks in nature, meditation. Yes, for some of you, therapy. I know some of you hate that. I don't know why. And maybe it's a little stubborn aspect of yourself of, I'm resilient and I can power through. You can. Sometimes we need a little help to do that. There's no shame in that. Heal this for you. Whatever you want to do with this person is up to you. But you need to heal this. Otherwise, like I said, 20 years from now, at a red light, this could rear its ugly head. And it could very well have long-term negative health consequences for you as well. That is what I have for you, Capricorn. That is your full moon and Scorpio message. If you like that message, it resonates with you, you want to claim all or part of it, maybe you just found it to be helpful, please be sure to click like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hype the video on your mobile device if you're able to do that. And until I read for you again, I'm wishing you light, love, and peace.